guys, Logan here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for Hellboy 2019, the reboot to the Ron Perlman Hellboy movies directed by Guillermo del Toro. This is a reboot directed by Neil Marshall and stars David Harbour as Hellboy, and this is about Hellboy coming to England where he must defeat Nimue, Merlin's consort, and the Blood Queen, but their battle will bring about the end of the world, a fate he desperately tries to turn away. I watched the first two Hellboy movies with Ron Perlman as Hellboy in preparation for this review, and I really love the two Hellboy movies that Guillermo del Toro directed. They were both really good films, and I love Ron Perlman as Hellboy. He perfectly embodies the character of Hellboy, from the physicality standpoint to his personality standpoint, just every category. He nails it as Hellboy. So when I heard that this was going to be a reboot and not so much a third installment of the third continuation of the two Hellboy movies, I was curious because at that time I didn't watch the two Hellboy movies up until a few days ago, and when I was curious as to wanting to see this film, and then I was let down by this film in many ways. Now, this film has some things going for it. Number one, David Harbour was really good as Hellboy. He was excellent as Hellboy, a really great successor to Ron Perlman as Hellboy. I'm not going to compare David Harbour to Ron Perlman. They're both great in their own rights as Hellboy. Both are really great, but I'm not going to compare them, even though they're both Hellboy movies. This one is a reboot, so I can't really compare that. But the action scenes involving him and the humor that he brings within the action scenes and some other character moments that he had with some of the human characters, let's just say, particularly his father, played by Ian McShane, he definitely made this film really entertaining and better than it could have been whenever he's on the screen. But even his great performance, his great humor, and the great action scenes that he was in, particularly one action scene that I liked with him against the giant trolls, where he sliced them up, that was shown in the trailers, that was a really great action scene. It might be the best action scene I've seen in this entire film, period. But even those things have been overshadowed by the discombobulated storytelling, the inconsistent tone, and the weird editing that felt as if there were reshoots that have been taking place within this film, as well as the misplaced music. There were some song choices in the entirety of this film that really didn't make sense and didn't really fit the tone with the tone that this movie was going for. And most of the performances outside of David Harbour's was really not that good. Milla Jovovich as the Blood Queen, the main antagonist in the film, she was, the main villain. I'm not going to blame on Milla Jovovich. It's her character that was written that was just very weak. Very generic and bland villain that you have, the type of bland and generic villain that you've seen thousands of times, 1,000 times rather. And I find, without giving away too many spoilers, there was one creature in there that was, I guess you could call a sidekick to the Blood Queen, or the servant rather. And I find this one creature to be a more interesting and intimidating villain in this film than I find with the Blood Queen. He was given much depth to him, more so than the Blood Queen was given. So it's really, as he's the secondary villain, and it's kind of sad to say that the secondary villain in a film is better than the primary villain. I mean, this film is basically a hot mess, no pun intended. And this film is, some people are saying that this film is not as bad as people made it out to be, along with critics on Rotten Tomatoes said it is, and I gotta tell you, it actually is bad. I can now see why this film has a very low percentage on Rotten Tomatoes. It clearly shows. I'm going to give Hellboy 2019 a Bronze Medal of Honor. Not a really good film. It could have been a whole lot better. David Harbour was great as Hellboy. He brings much entertainment with his performance and his acting and everything he brings to the table. But even he could not overcome the messiness that this film has been put on display throughout its entirety. It really could have been a lot better. So anyway, guys, that is my review for Hellboy 2019, starring David Harbour as Hellboy, not Ron Perlman, David Harbour. I have a lot more reviews coming to you later this week, particularly a couple of X-Men reviews, of The Last Stand and X-Men Origins Wolverine. Sorry. Every time I say that title, every time I say the name of that film, it gives me seizures. It caused my head to go nuts every time I say that name, because that film... I have more to say about that film. If you guys enjoyed this review, please click the like button, and if you have already seen Hellboy, comment below to let me know what you think of it. If you enjoy what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.